So check this out. The wind bent this stake back. It was at an angle like this. And this is the side of the tent that's been taking the most of the wind. So I'm gonna have to restake this. Good news is it's been pretty warm today, so the ground's really thawing out. And both stakes that were in the ground here holding this side wall guy line, and then same with this one. Both of these were ripped out of the ground yesterday with all the wind that we had. So luckily today though, it's really a nice day. I mean, it's beautiful out here. Sierra's just been hanging out, enjoying a day in the sun while I've been getting the tent all cleaned up. It was really messy from all the wind that we had. And what that does is it comes in, the wind makes a bunch of the debris come in underneath from where the stove is, because the stove has a zip out area on the floor. And so as a result, the wind was coming up underneath the tent and then blowing a bunch of debris into the interior of my tent. I just couldn't keep it clean, but I got it all cleaned now, and I want to give you guys a walkthrough of it and show you how I get everything set up, or have it all set up for my winter living. So this is the tent. It's the Bighorn 3 from Cabela's. It's a great tent. I've been using it now for, let's see, I started in the winter of 2015, so almost 5 years now of rocking it in this tent. And I can really say that it rides out temperatures and windstorms really well. I mean, it's loud in the windstorms, but really what tent isn't? But I've had temperatures as low as negative 35 in here with the wind chill of negative almost 50. And that was only for a brief period, but it really held up nice, and it was like 65 degrees inside my tent. And the tent itself is just designed to shed a lot of snow. So if you get snow on the roof here, as soon as it warms up, it just slides off. And if it gets to be a little bit too much weight while it's on there, it just slides off as well. On the exterior here, just real quick, I want to show you, you've got these plastic windows. So if it's raining out or if it's snowing like crazy, but you want to have sunshine come through, you can open up the interior portion of this window and still have sunlight come through, but you'll be water protected from the elements, which is nice. So out here on the exterior, what I'll do is I'll have my solar panel set up, be ready to rock. Any other items that require solar, I'll have that going, and I'll start charging first thing in the morning. So coming into my tent here, it's pretty basic. I mean, other than bringing a freaking refrigerator with me in here, it's just a pretty simple setup. Take off my shoes and we'll walk in. Over here on the left, when you come into the tent area, I'll always have my water available. That way if I'm outside working on stuff, I need to fill up my water canteen, I can do that real quick. You can't really see it right here. Yeah, there you go. I've got the Jackery 500 battery. That thing's great. I'll start charging that first thing in the morning. And then I always charge other items during the daytime while I'm charging that. That way I don't lose a bunch of energy by not charging stuff during the day. Back to the stuff here. This is the duffel bag that holds the entire tent. And what I'll do is I'll use that just to keep track of all the different bags that I use for gear. Here's my sleeping setup. This is the Outfitters XL cot from Cabela's. It's pretty big, as you can see, and it's really comfortable. A couple nights with the wind being the way that it has been, Sierra and I've slept in here, and she'll sleep over on this side and I'll sleep over there, and it's pretty wide and it's very comfortable. I've got a memory foam mattress underneath here that I use because I'm getting older. Aches and pains seem to be more prevalent these days. But this is where I'll pretty much hang out during the day, and I'll sit right here, build up a little area with like a pillow, and make a little desk for my computer work, and then create content, do all that other stuff. Here's Sierra's bed area, and then I've got her food just right there. So Sierra gets, even though she's on the floor, which is colder, I mean, obviously being up on the cot is nice because I get to take advantage of that heat. Being on the floor is colder, so that's why I have her closer to the stove. And so here's the stove that I use. This is the 4Dog. Well, this is from 4Dog Stoves. This is the 3Dog DX model. And this stove has been a freaking workhorse. This thing is amazing. Right now, do need to clean out the interior of the stove box a little bit. There's some debris in there, some buildup of ash. One thing is, if you have a bunch of ash in the bottom of your stove like that, it'll insulate the bottom portion, which means that no heat will come out on the bottom or on the sides where the ash is built up. So always make sure to keep your stove clean. But this stove, like I was saying, I've been using it now for going on 5 years, and it's been great. If you do get a wood stove for any of your tents, I always recommend getting a side shelf. at least one of them, if not one for both sides. They're extremely useful for cooking, and I found that if you have more than one person cooking on this, each person would really benefit from having a side shelf just to keep items warm but not hot, you know, to transfer it back and forth when you're doing your cooking over the wood stove. Another thing I want to recommend with this tent is to create some sort of barrier that goes around the portion of the zip out here for your stove, for the tent floor. I was mentioning how in the beginning of this video how all this debris came up through here, so like the wind would blow through here, then the wind would kick up over here and go all over like the ground, or you know, the Sierra's bed, even up on my bed, which I didn't want that. So if you get this tent, I recommend just putting down like pieces of wood or something that'll hold that down. I like to put river rocks if I'm in an area where I can find river rocks, and it makes it kind of cool looking and it can retain heat. Over here, just right next to the stove, is like kind of my kitchen area, and also a little table for prepping food and just doing various things. Got my AeroPress in here for making coffee. I like to do hand press coffee in the morning. And then back over here, this is the BioLite Solar Home 620. That's what powers the little lights that we have in here. Those things are great for evening time, just to kick on some light and feel like a human being in here, which is nice. This is the Cabela's little collapsible camp tent or camp table. I like this thing a lot. It's really easy to break down. And then this is the granddaddy. This is nice. This is serves a dual purpose. Number one, it keeps all my food obviously in check and nice and safe to eat and nice and cooled. But this is also a stool for me. So I'll sit there and hang out, and then Sierra usually takes pole position in the morning while I'm cooking breakfast. She'll sit right there and lay down there and take naps pretty much all day. So the human is relegated to the bench over there, which is fine. I don't mind it. And then the last thing that I have in here is my cell phone booster. I'm testing this out in the tent this winter to see how it'll work. Since it's so portable, I mean, I just take that cigarette lighter there and plug it into the Jackery little cigarette lighter area, and I'm rocking. And so far, it's been mixed up here at the ranch, but it's really limited cell reception up here. And so, you know, I think I've got to test it out in some other areas that I know have really good reception, or not even really good reception, like decent marginal reception, and see how much that boosts it. Because up here, there's literally no reception at all. And so if there's no reception, it can't boost it. And I've been getting like patches of reception here and there, but it's just not consistent enough to warrant having that booster on all the time. So anyway, this is my tent. I kind of went off on a few tangents on different things that I have in here, but I really like it. I mean, I can't say enough great things about this tent. So if you're looking for one that you want to live in the wintertime, or just even go out part-time and just hang out, I mean, this thing's plenty comfortable. There's plenty of headroom in here at the peak right there. I think it's like 8 feet 6 inches. So check it out online. I'll put a link in the video description below, and they're great tents. Thanks. All right, later.